In this video today, I'm going to share with you the differences between retail arbitrage and online arbitrage from sourcing and all the other factors that you need to know about what separates these two business models. Stay tuned. Right, if you're new to this channel, my name is Thomas Parkinson. I've been selling on Amazon now, doing online arbitrage for the last 5 years. So first things first, what is retail arbitrage on Amazon? Well, look, basically retail arbitrage is the more traditional method of buying products. This is generally where you're going to be sourcing products in store, in retail stores, to then resell on Amazon for a profit. Now, this leads me nicely on to what is online arbitrage. And this is quite simply the process of buying products from retailers online, as you can probably guess, and then selling them on the Amazon marketplace or on different marketplaces such as Amazon. Okay, question for you guys. Which business model are you most familiar with? Which one are you using, or which one perhaps maybe you want to get started in? Let me know in the comments down below. Is it retail arbitrage or online arbitrage? Let me know in the comments down below. So you might be asking, what are the other factors that differentiate retail arbitrage versus online arbitrage? Now, I'm going to share with you some pros and cons of retail arbitrage, and then we'll go into online arbitrage. So let's start with retail arbitrage first. In retail arbitrage, the inventory is readily available. One of the advantages we see with retail arbitrage is that you can pretty much start your business immediately, since you go into store and you physically have the inventory right there and then, which means you can start shipping to Amazon selling, or even if you're doing merchant fulfilled, you could literally sell that day, and some people do. Now, the second one is it's a really quick way to start your business. Traditionally, retail arbitrage is very simple. You walk in, you scan what you want, you can see how much stock there is, you can buy it, fantastic. Once you've checked out, that's it, stock's yours. There's no waiting for it to be delivered, there's no delivery, there's no inspection problems. You've already done all that as part of it, and you don't have to wait for the item to be manufactured or shipped. It's really, really simple. All you've now got to do is get them to Amazon's warehouses or sell them by merchant fulfilled. Now, on the other side of the coin, the cons of retail arbitrage are you only really can get the inventory in the shop right there and then. And if they don't have much in, you're going to be limited. So that limited inventory, if you can't buy any more, that's going to be a real problem. When you do online, generally because it's an online store, they'll have a lot more inventory. So if you want to buy bigger bulks, you can generally do that online. That's going to help you out. Also as well, maybe there's a great deal that you know about in the store. You can't kind of go online and secure it. You can sometimes, but not always. You've actually got to go in and get it. So you've got to go visit that store. You have no assurance that by visiting it, you're actually going to get that stock. I know a lot of retail arbitrage people, they'll find a deal in one store or maybe hear about a deal and then go around lots of stores, but they can't guarantee they're going to get them. That's one big point there. You can't guarantee the stock. Now, this leads me quite nicely onto the pros and cons of online arbitrage. And this is the model that I do now. Number one, you can source products regardless of the time or day. It doesn't matter if the store is open, it's the middle of the night, or if you're in a completely different country, it doesn't matter. It's online, it's available 24/7. You can go in, you can buy and check out then. Now, the second one you can look at is you don't have to spend any money on gas, you don't have to visit the store physically, you don't have to have the embarrassment of scanning everything, and everyone's like, what are you doing? That's quite an annoying one, whereas online you can do it from the comfort of your own home in a nice comfy chair. You can simply source the products online at your own convenience when you are ready. Now, there's some of the pros. Let's look at the cons of online arbitrage. You cannot inspect the product yourself. If there's a problem with the product, it's damaged, for example, you don't know that. Once it's got damage in their warehouses before shipment, you can't see that. That's a problem. That could have an issue with you if you're not inspecting the product thoroughly enough before shipping to Amazon, and ultimately the customer could be complaints. Also as well, another one, cancelled orders. A lot of the orders can be cancelled. It can be a real problem. Why? Because maybe they don't sell to resellers, or perhaps maybe they don't have the amount you want to buy. 99999, I want to purchase such a good deal. Well, unfortunately, they haven't got that much in stock. It's a real pain. And the third one, think about fraudulent transactions. By the very nature, and we've had it before as well. Unfortunately, you don't know if the store you're buying from has the stock, or even if they really exist. It could be just a fancy looking website. It might be the case that those products are going to be fraudulent, and that's a real problem. And we have had that. We've had £11,000 and about $10,000 stolen from us through fraudulent transactions. It does happen. Now, if you're interested in learning about fraudulent transactions, I'll drop a video up above how to know if a website is legit or not. Check that out. Retail arbitrage versus online arbitrage. What do we think? When you're doing retail arbitrage, you can sometimes negotiate discounts or get more products delivered in. It does sometimes happen. But in online arbitrage, you're going to be getting it online, shipping to your house or to your warehouse. That's an option as well. Online arbitrage, you'll generally find that they have more stock, but with retail arbitrage, sometimes you can find better clearances in store than you can online. Different thing there. Now, the second thing, let's think about prepping. So by the very nature of Amazon arbitrage, you're going to need to inspect, relabel, put a barcode over the UPC, and obviously then ship it into Amazon. You don't necessarily have to relabel, but it's really recommended because you don't want to commingle, but it's up to you if you want to do that. Also as well, prepping things are going to be things like putting them in physical bags, bubble wrapping to make sure the prepping works. Now, for both retail arbitrage and online arbitrage, they're going to be exactly the same processes. So whether you take it from the store, take it home, prep it yourself, or maybe get it shipped to your home or prep center, it's still going to have to be prepped. So the cost involved in that is going to be exactly the same. The only thing which I can say around prepping and inspection is the fact that you can kind of do the inspection beforehand with retail arbitrage in store before you purchase, whereas if you're doing it online arbitrage, maybe it comes to you, then the problem comes is that the items could be damaged and you don't know that, so then you have to deal with returns. So a bit of a negative there. Now, the one thing which I'll say is if you're interested in knowing about how to prep and prep center guides, I did create a video called the Ultimate Prep Center Guide. Check that out up above. That's really going to help you out as well. Now, this leads me nicely onto my third area, which is shipping. Now, what I'll say for both shipping on retail arbitrage and online arbitrage is pretty much they're going to be the same. If you're going to do retail arbitrage, you're definitely going to ship it yourself, most likely to Amazon, probably to UPS, for example. But if you're doing it through online arbitrage, you might do it through a prep center, or it could be yourself, shipping through UPS as well. But the process is going to be the same. So there's no real difference in that. You've both got to get into Amazon the same way. Now, the one thing which I will say is while I've talked about like suppliers, prep, and shipping, all of this is kind of the same, but the biggest factor in all of this is about the online arbitrage websites that you're sourcing from. So what I will say is I'll drop a link down below because I do have a free download, which is my top 100 UK, and another one is a top 100 USA online arbitrage website. So if you're interested in that, have a look at the link down below. You can download my free list of the top 100 arbitrage websites that have worked for me, my business. I'll drop a link down below for you. Once you're doing prepping or shipping, you're pretty much into Amazon and that's it. So really the kind of differences between online arbitrage and retail arbitrage is that one is in store, you have to do it yourself, and then the other one is you could do it online from the laptop, but you can use prep centers as well. So that's kind of a bit about the difference, and there are some pros and cons in regards to quantity you can get versus maybe discounts at retail arbitrage. So this leads me nicely onto my personal thoughts. What I do want to do is share with you a poll that I asked in my YouTube community where we asked, what business model are you currently using? Now, out of the 205 votes we had, 56% came back with online arbitrage, where 18 responded with wholesale, and this was followed by retail arbitrage with 14, and finally private label with 12. So majority of people do online arbitrage, which is probably to be expected because hey, that's what I do. So what I will say is that the majority of people are doing online arbitrage. I'm not saying it's wrong or right. There's lots of options, but because I've probably created nearly 1,000 videos over the last 5 years around this topic, I would expect that to be the answer. So if I give you my thoughts on it, well, from what I know and what I've met across all the people that I've interviewed, there's generally 2 rules of thumb. If you are getting started and you have a low cash value, amount of cash to invest, retail arbitrage is probably the way you want to go. Why? Because of the clearance sections in retail arbitrage, you're probably going to get higher ROI, higher margin items, and you can ship them and turn them quicker. Why? You can go in today, find a product, and then have it probably shipped today or tomorrow back into Amazon. Online arbitrage, you're probably not going to get as cheaper products, but also as well, you have to wait for them to be delivered and then prep them and ship them out. It takes a bit longer to turn the money. And again, we want to turn that money as quickly as possible. Now, if you've got more money, and you're running out of cash, or if you say you've got cash every month or every week left, you can't spend it on retail arbitrage, then what you might want to look at is online arbitrage, whereby you can generally buy bigger bulks. There's a lot more variety to buy to. You literally just all the websites in the world at your fingertips, whereas the stores take a lot longer. You've got to drive there in retail arbitrage, but the margins are going to be a little bit lower, but you can spend more cash. So if you've got a lot more cash available, we'll call it like £2,000 to £5,000 or dollars and above, online arbitrage might be the option you want to go for. If you're about less than 2,000, I definitely think retail arbitrage would be the option that I would go down, and that would be just a way to get started. And the one thing I love about this business model is the fact that you can get started on such a small amount of cash. Now, what I will say is after understanding the difference between retail arbitrage and online arbitrage, you might want to consider watching a video we created called Amazon Arbitrage for Beginners, and I'll drop it around here. It's going to really help you out. Now, hopefully you've liked this video. If you do, give me a thumbs up. And hey, if you want to see more videos like this, do hit the subscribe button down below. But for myself, Thomas Parkinson, and Fast Track FBA, thank you very much.